Good morning, good morning. There is the bell. I hope everybody is loving this Tuesday out here so far. The SPY is actually moving in a pretty positive way so far today, believe it or not. Especially given the climate lately. I know yesterday at the end of the day, we saw a great recovery out of the overall market here. It was a great pump up there to end the trading day. What a move, what a move. Looking at stocks right now, it's pretty good to see the SPY moving the way that it is. It's holding 676 key support here this morning. This is a big level. We've talked about this level so many times the past couple of weeks. I don't think that there's been a level mentioned more than this one. Honestly, in like the past month or so, probably. But there was a lot of new updates yesterday with the war. Yes, Trump did say it was ending very soon. In his own words. It's very subjective, though, on how soon he really means. We'll see how soon it really ends up being. So far, though, good hold at that support today. And if we really do see that support break down here over the next few minutes on the SPY, then start to be wary for a possible pullback that results in a larger drawdown. But for right now, it's holding and we're getting some green. Good stuff. Thoughts on Bitcoin? Yeah, Bitcoin was doing pretty good yesterday. Yeah, even like last night again. I didn't check it last night or this morning, but yeah, holding well above 70K. Looks like on the 5-minute, there might be a little bit of weakness here right on the first opening candles. But other than that, I mean, it's been pretty solid the past few days on the recovery effort. Going back to Sunday, I guess, is what we'll say. Good morning, Kayla, Just P. Dios, Wes, Almighty, the good guy, Zoidberg, what's up? Manicure, Jake, Ken Code, Jose, love it. Manicured said Tuesday 8-piece KFC deal. What? That's the first way we start today. Does Yum Brands own them? Speaking of YUM, looking at the daily, they've actually done pretty good short term. Not too bad. All right, go over to Tesla here today. Good pop back to the upside. That's what we like to see. Good stuff. AMD's moving up a little bit too. Nice candle from open. They're holding above $200, which is a pretty good sign into today. Seeing a good continuation out of a lot of stocks. Apple's really choppy. Nvidia pulled back but filled the gap and it's kind of stuck right now. See how Hims is doing. They had that good news yesterday. Oh, there we go. Now that is a good initial pop here. They had a strong pre-market move as well. HIMS popped up to 26 here at open. Let's see that 1 minute. It has pulled back a little bit, but this is a great move by Hims and Hers. They had that news yesterday where I think they're going to be selling Novo's drugs on their website or something. Hims and Hers. Taco, Ken Code says. Complete dopamine high today, Ken Code says. Yeah, you know, that's interesting. Taco Tuesday. I know what you mean, though. Trump always chickens out. I'll say, I guess he didn't chicken out whenever they bombed, but... those comments yesterday really helped fuel the market back up, didn't it? Really big comments by Trump yesterday saying the war was almost over. Also said the U.S. was considering taking over the Strait of Hormuz, which was funny. Poor Mason. I know, that's wild, isn't it? What time? Like 6 a.m., right? Him's back to all-time highs, Manicure says. If that happened, that would be pretty cool. 73, that would be beautiful. I'd be foaming at the mouth if that happened, but... he said Trump's only taco against China. He likes his Chinese tacos. But no, seriously, it does seem like that, at least lately. China holds a lot of cards. It's tough to be too strong with them. Maiden said it's 6:30 and I'm half asleep. I don't know how anyone can be in the right state of mind to trade. They probably have to wake up at like 5:30, Mason, and like go for a quick run or something. Ogle's trying to hold support, but it doesn't look great. Let's see Novo, because, you know, we saw Hims moving. Novo, damn, they pulled back. They were doing good yesterday, but they gave it away. Just live on the East Coast, they say. That's the easy way to do it. LITE is up again. Lumentum. 7.06% today. Nice moves here by LITE. This stock has been on fire in the short term. It's been all over the place, but past couple days it's been ripping. But look at the momentum that it had in 2026 here in February. Pretty much at the beginning of February, it just exploded. Good morning, KO. Yeah, I do too, Mason. I feel like it's a good medium. Kayla says, is it risky to play Adobe earnings? Oh, yeah. It's definitely risky right now. If you look at Adobe, look at how much it's down to 275.52. Here, I'll show you something. If you're looking to play Adobe earnings, we're going to look at the implied volatility of Adobe. Okay. Yeah, this is important. So notice how Adobe, on the way down, look at the blue line at the bottom. You see, like, up, down, up, down, up, down. So essentially what happens is that whenever this is lower, the implied volatility is less and options are cheaper. Whenever this is higher, the implied volatility rises and then options become worth less or more, sorry. But whenever we see implied volatility go down, it's nice and cheap. It's like a good time to trade in a way. But whenever the implied volatility is high, it's worrying. And note how each time Adobe, each time their implied volatility jumps up, what we see is we actually see earnings coming into play. So you see like Adobe, they have earnings here on 6/12/24. The stock, or the implied volatility on the stock and the options, ended up dropping. And then we saw the implied volatility start to come back up a little bit into the next earnings and then drop again. And then go up into the next one and then drop again. Now, it looks like Adobe does have a lot of good movement on earnings. Like, a lot of times we see a lot of big gap ups, gap downs, especially looking at this chart. Now, the past two have been more minute and more flat. But every other example on here has resulted in a pretty crazy move. I would expect a pretty good move with Adobe, just given how many eyes have been on software lately. But the big thing is that whenever that implied volatility rises and it's high like it is, the options market is hard to trade, especially whenever you have earnings involved with the IV crush. Because whenever the IV crushes, it's going to be dropping in premium essentially, no matter what. So keep that in mind. You're going to have to see a big move out of Adobe to see a real win or loss. And you could result in a loss if the stock just stays the same. That's what makes it so difficult. It is falling down a lot today, though. Now, the big thing I would say with Adobe is if you really wanted to play it, and you also were interested in owning it for the long term at these prices, you could always start to average in where, like, let's say, you know, like let's just say hypothetically, just throwing out a random number. Let's just say that you want to invest $3,000 total into Adobe. Maybe today you would do $300 in Adobe, right? But you'd still leave yourself a bunch of room to keep averaging in. That would be about the only way I would do it. Palantir looking good though. Falling off 153. It's been rejecting here at this resistance very well. So nice consistent move to the downside. I like to see that. It's not really popping off, but it's definitely rejecting in a good way today for the put players out there on Palantir. Boeing getting flat. I'm also still eyeing up some of these defense companies. Lockheed Martin dropped off again. Interesting. Down towards like the bottom end of its range. Kind of bounced off support. It's actually a pretty decent bounce off support there for Lockheed Martin. It'd be pretty cool to see them double bottom and potentially start to really get this uptrend going as, I don't know, the war still drags on. Trump's rhetoric yesterday didn't help though. Yesterday afternoon, defense companies sold off a bit more as Trump said the war could be ending soon or pretty soon. Let me go get the comment. Yeah, Trump says the Iran war will end, in quotes, very soon. Close quotes. Predicts oil prices to go down. This was in his statement last night. He also made some comments of this to a CBS reporter yesterday. Rivian and NIO are going to the upside, good guy said. RIVN, NIO. Wow, Rivian looks pretty solid here. Holding its uptrend in a great way. 5-minute chart. Rivian's pushing $17. Okay. Good stuff, Rivian. That is solid. Rivian, $17.15. That's a good pop, though. 7%. Solid stuff. Looking at the watch list today. Oh, Hims leads it. You know what else is up, though? Unusual Machines is up 11% again, guys. Is RCAT moving at all? Not really, but UMAC is on fire here. 10.5%. That's a good move. They had earnings yesterday. They are pumping again. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. RCAT. RCAT did start to come back now a little bit. Yeah. UMAC and RCAT are starting to break out in a great way. Wow. 1963 on Unusual Machines, pushing towards $20 resistance. SPY trying to break 676, Zachary said. Oh yeah, bouncing off of it. Kind of slower and choppier. I like looking at the drone companies better right now. Hard not to. These are some great moves. $20 resistance testing right now. Hey, Met said ASPI is moving, loving it. There we go. ASPI 6.25 today, 7%, still going off the bottom support zone. Beautiful. Up to 6.22. I was curious how DraftKings was starting today. A little bit of a red day to kick off this one. This one's really interesting to me. DraftKings with $30. Yeah, you know, NMAX took a tumble yesterday at the end of the day. I actually was watching that. I feel that there could still be some action here, but it's safer to lock in. It's probably best to lock in and then wait to see if we start to uptrend again. Especially with how it just fell under the support here, too. Give me one sec, guys. I'm going to grab a quick drink of this Gatorade here this morning. Make sure you guys are hydrated. All right, all right. And the weather's getting nice here. It's going to be 80 degrees today. I think that's the first 80-degree day of the year. Although it got pretty close yesterday. Nvidia is starting to look pretty solid here intraday. From open, they faded off a little bit, but held pre-market support and are coming back. They're up 0.5%, nothing too crazy, but solid PA nonetheless. Tesla is starting to come up too, up testing to 405. TSLA pushing back for the high of the morning. Tesla's been recovering up since yesterday, and again, a lot of great momentum, but this is a big range of resistance for Tesla, unfortunately. Within this zone, there's been a ton of rejection and weird price action playing out. Arabudo says we still have 2 feet of snow. Oh gosh. Hey, how did you know I was golfing right now, Manicured? UAMY and USAR are on fire. I did see USAR on my watch list earlier. Okay. UAMY. I don't think I've ever looked at this one. UAMY has an extremely strong chart here on the daily for me. Wow, this actually looks great. UAMY might try to push through resistance either today or tomorrow morning and try to get this run kicked off. This is a very interesting point for UAMY. I could see it attempting a move in the short term just based off the chart alone. But granted, I don't think I've ever seen UAMY. I really like the price action on it though. It's up there. 3 under par. Hang on, guys. I gotta sink this putt real quick. Hang on. Oh my gosh, I made it for birdie. Wow, you hear the crowd? Tank says, good morning. What do we think about SoFi this morning? SOFI, let's see. $17 support, holding up pretty well. I know we've been watching SoFi off the bottom end of the range here for a couple weeks. Looking at it today, though, unfortunately, pretty negative on the PA so far. Now, let's see if it's bouncing. Because, okay. This isn't... It's in a strange spot for me. It's hard to trade. It's testing a very critical zone of support. And it's trying to even bounce intraday. You know, if we zoom in on like a 1 minute, you can see it, you know, attempting a small bounce. But I don't love the price action here. And I think today specifically, it looks pretty hard to trade. I would come up with a plan, like maybe if you're looking at it to the upside, maybe you could, you know, watch it for a potential rebreak here of like 1875 for a potential run to continue. That's kind of what I would look for here, but other than that, it just seems very slow and choppy and testing too large of support to really keep playing down too in my eyes. But Palantir looks pretty decent to the downside today. They've been pretty weak. They're coming down to test their support too. They've been stuck in this weird range for the past day or so. It's going to be interesting once they finally break either, you know, up and out of the range or down and out of the range. Oklo's at 63. Hey! Oklo bouncing back. They moved well above 62 this morning. It just has been a little slow on the recovery, but looking pretty good. 2.27% now. Look at the daily. You can see it hitting that big support there. It doesn't mean Oklo needs to go all the way back up, but just for a few days or Even a nice catch today could be awesome. Does seem pretty strong. If you're enjoying it today, destroy that like button out there. Helps us out quite a bit. I really appreciate you guys joining up today, of course, as always. Beautiful Tuesday out here, and, well, where I am, it's beautiful today anyways. I don't know about by you guys. Bank of America. They've been weak in the short term, and they look pretty weak again today. 0.48% to the downside. JP Morgan tried to bounce back yesterday afternoon, but now they are right back in the gap from yesterday, right in the gap. Hell yeah, Sean. NOLO. Let me get the calendar up. Existing home sales, 10 a.m. Eastern time today. I don't really expect this to impact things too much here. It's possible though. We have been seeing a few updates with the housing market, but I don't expect this to be too crazy here in 3 minutes. I like you kind of reminding us though, Nolo. Appreciate that. Tomorrow's the big day though. 1 hour before open, CPI data coming out. And then Friday will be huge too with the PCE data. And it's also going to be Friday the 13th on this Friday. So that's just fantastic. Uh-oh. Demir said, good morning, guys. Choppy market, lost $100. Big sad. Oh. When I saw big sad, I knew I was going to read something bad. Yeah, it happens. Hey, good day yesterday, though, right? Maybe we catch a better move. Be nice to see something tomorrow start to play out well. Man, Nvidia's very stuck here. I don't like that. Price action one bit. AMD is pretty stuck too, but at least it's bouncing off support. I could see AMD trying to continue up over the next day or so, as long as the rhetoric doesn't shift a lot. This is a very choppy market though. It's very hard to get direction on this because, especially if you're swinging right now on intraday moves, I don't think it's terrible, but whenever you're looking at swings, it's really back and forth lately. Manicured said, you can't starve in the USA. You could eat free ketchup and hot sauce at any of the Yum brands. You know what? I never thought about that. That's like, I mean, you got to be like really like worst case scenario, but I never thought of it that way, but maybe that's what they should go do. Speaking of ketchup though, how is Kraft Heinz stock here today? Down a lot. Oh no, Sean. 23.87, down 2.3%. Oh, chopping around in the rain still, I see. All right, here we go. The home sales are out. Come in at something. Came in at 4.09 versus 3.89 expected. Let's go back to the fun stocks of the day, UMAC, and then we'll check in on SPY really quickly. UMAC, what's the other ones? RCAT, ONDS. All right, SPY, let's see. Oh, pullback, 676. Starting to break down a little bit. All right, yeah, SPY bouncing back a little bit here. Gonna be testing 676, which is just fell through. Just fell through that support. Gonna be testing again now. Sorry for that little delay. Wow, SPY starting to pull back quite a bit. Down 0.36% here on the day. It filled the gap, and notice this big support zone. The low from after hours yesterday, essentially the low from pre-market today too. It's been holding up as support, so the critical spot for the SPY. Watch it closely here. This is where things get dicey. Go see how Tesla looks. TSLA 407. Rejection. Starting to fall a little bit off the high of the day. Nvidia down a little bit too. Nothing too bad really though. Trader, I'm afraid of SPY pulling back. The therapist says, tell me why. And the trader screams. What? Is that what you say to your therapist, Amir? BA falling under 223. Down 0.92%. Let's go see how Ford and General Motors are doing. Ford, 12.35 on the day. Looking pretty solid, actually, today. I must say. Not bad. GM. I like it. 76.13, 76.15. Boom, looking really solid. Happy achieved that feat no more than an hour ago. Yeah, Nvidia does have their GTC conference coming up soon. I think it's next week, right? March 16th to 19th. Yeah, next week. It's going to be Monday through Thursday. That's pretty big. Nvidia holding its support intraday, 182.20 at the moment. That conference will be big. They'll probably announce their new graphic cards, new chips. I'll just call them GPUs. Or they'll at least show them off a lot. Sometimes Jensen even comes out with big server racks. Or look, you know, things that look like server racks or whatever you want to say. I'm not an expert with those, but Tesla, nice high here today, 406.50, close to 407. Very stuck in the range. SPY fell down a little bit on the home sales initially, but is now back. Really chopping around 676 at the moment. $675 on SPY. Low of day today, essentially. If we zoom out, like I said, good triple bottom at that zone from the past few days. It's getting pretty close again. We could see it flush through. If it does, I think that would be a pretty bearish sign. I could see SPY attempting to get back down to 672.30 on a larger drop-off. So I keep hearing news that, like, the war, you know, Trump obviously says the war is almost over, but I'm also seeing this news here as well. Man, SPY's selling down. It's starting to test that triple bottom. U.S. is stepping up Iran strikes as oil industry faces more upheaval. It still says the Strait of Hormuz still remains effectively closed to almost all but Iran-linked traffic. Very interesting news hitting, though. Here's our headlines here on Bloomberg. Yeah, pretty insane. Pretty insane. Yeah, you can really see that the Hormuz traffic has remained low. Look at this chart right here. Now, like we said, some people are turning off their transponders and stuff and turning them back on, but that's a little bit different. Pete Hegseth said the U.S. is conducting its most intense day of strikes inside Iran with the most fighters, bombers, and strikes during a press conference Tuesday at the Pentagon. Let's listen to this. You guys want to hear him say it?
It's a laser-focused, maximum authority mission delivered with overwhelming and unrelenting precision. No hesitation. No half measures. As President Trump declared yesterday, we're crushing the enemy in an overwhelming display of technical skill and military force. We will not relent until the enemy is totally and decisively defeated. But we do so. We do so on our timeline and at our choosing. For example, today will be yet again our most intense day of strikes inside Iran. The most fighters, the most bombers, the most strikes. Intelligence more refined and better than ever. So that's on one hand. On the other hand, the last 24 hours have seen Iran fire the lowest number of missiles they've been capable of firing yet.
Yeah, pretty big statements today by Mr. Pete Hegseth. Pretty decent piece of news there for the day, but we'll turn the music back on. Go check out SPY, which is holding its lower zone of support now at 674.80, which I've had there. Most intense day of strikes, though. Pretty big statements there. I would go ice fishing, Sean. The Zoidberg noise. I know, I would, but no one's gonna know what I'm talking about. some people, but I'd probably end up getting in trouble for that one. It'll be copyright. No, I'm kidding. Tesla pulling back pretty hard now, down to 402. Let's go check unusual machines. Still holding up pretty good today for the most part. UMAC, look at RCAT. RCAT is approaching its high of the day. It's in like a bullish wedge right now, or like a bull flag setup. Pretty decent move. Zoidberg's recovering the position in RCAT. How about Newsmax, you said? Let's see. Coming back a little bit. It's going to be hard to reverse yesterday morning's drop. Microsoft's down a lot here intraday, down 1.4% overall. Pretty big pullback. Yeah, looking at the watch list this morning, they are the weakest Mag 7. Definitely the weakest. Ah, really, Sean? That'd be pretty scary out there, honestly. I've never done it. NVO, we get no love from NVO/Hims News. It's all one-sided for Hims. Novo did good yesterday, but yeah, you're right. Today, they were not moving at all, and they still aren't. Yeah, kind of going red here. It might help them out, though, overall. Like, let's say the next few months in a little bit of a way. Ice fishing. That's an interesting topic there. Yesterday for lunch, I made rainbow trout. Funny enough. Pretty hilarious topic to come up. Bank of America jumping up 48.50. Pretty nice price action here. GLD's nice above that 21-day EMA. $4.79. Nice, nice, nice. GLD had a nice move today, 1.37%. Good bounce back. That's good. Silver holding its $80 range here too. SLV is holding 80 anyways. Silver itself is at 88 right now. Gold is at 5,212. Oh, hell yeah, Sean. Good stuff. Good stuff. How is... I'm trying to think of a stock associated to that. I can't think of any. Oh, Bud. Oh, they're pulling back again. That Mulvaney stuff created such a good buying opportunity on Budweiser that one time. Wild. All right, Palantir pulled back 2.78% today, down to 151. The UAE's largest refinery has halted operations after a drone strike, per Reuters. Does not sound good. Our cat's slow and steady. There we go, our cat. Nice, 3% there. There we go. Got up through that wedge. Great stuff, our cat. Looks awesome right now. Oops. 1 second. Just knocked over this metal bracket and sorry about that. Yeah, our cat exploding through this wedge and flag right here. This is awesome. 1455 looking great. Your break-even's at 15.44. Uh-oh, we're pretty far off from that, though. That would be quite the pump again. You're late. You slept in, KNMSO says. Well, hey, maybe it's a good thing because the SPY's starting to move a lot better now. Really recovering here off of that lower support zone back through 676, and it's pretty insane. There's not like a ton of resistance here. There's one right around like 678.80, 679, and then really 680. 680, 150 past that, but it's popping up. All right. Wow, what a weird move here today. It was a slower early start to the morning, but we are starting to see some stocks pick up some momentum. Tesla, one of them. A lot of pullbacks taking place, though, honestly. It seems like SPY is doing pretty well, but I'm not really seeing that looking throughout many of the stocks here. Nvidia is doing pretty good, I guess, up 0.8%. That's good. Apple. Microsoft starting to come up off of support at 403. So if they start to post an intraday recovery, that'll help impact SPY too. Like this movement with Nvidia intraday. If it could continue pumping in this type of solid fashion, it's not bad. It's actually pushing through the pre-market high and the high of the day. It's pulling back slightly here, but nothing too crazy. Could continue the uptrend here. Going to look at SNDK really quickly, which had been really popping off again. 4.2% move. AG, some gold stocks moving. Or sorry, silver. Sorry, I forgot AG was silver. BABA calls as well. Let's see. Whoa, BABA actually has a pretty good intraday move going on. They're up 2.9%. We look at the daily. BABA's starting to recover off the dip pretty well. They're in a weird setup. Big money trade from October 28th of 2025. What a strange time. Tom, can you look at AVGO? Yeah. Avgo. Very nice price action right now, bouncing off of 300, moving off of its lower zone. It had been kind of in this downtrend here, in this funk, in this lower chop zone, and it's really honestly testing the upper bounds and resistance here. It's a tough call because, you know, it's been stuck here for a while. I mean, I would love to say that this would be the time that we pump up through. It could be, right? There's always that potential, but I don't, it's tough with resistance here. You know, it's rejected multiple times. Did Tesla do a head fake? It's the opposite of QQQ and SPY, which is unusual. Tesla, 0.62%. That's what we like. Moving up well, 406.60. It has been doing the opposite today. I've noticed that myself, because SPY's been ripping and Tesla's been starting to recover, or starting to die off. But we can see Tesla rejecting hard here at 404. That is a big rejection intraday. It does appear to be doing a bit of a head and shoulders pattern, but either way, it's just having stiff rejection. Now, Tesla doesn't always move with SPY, but it does have pretty strong correlation. I'm surprised it does, because there's actually a lot of people over the past year that have been screaming that Tesla's been doing the opposite and everything, but it's still holding up, at least on the stats. The stats are still there. SPY inverse of crude movement. Yeah, it has been reacting very strongly to crude. It does appear that there is an inverse type of action to crude. As crude died off today, that's really what started kicking off the SPY. And even yesterday, those comments by Trump, and it kind of impacts both in the opposite ways. USO really fell off today with oil, though. Moving down to 103.50, testing kind of a trend here in the short term. Still straddling the trend that we looked at on the video last night. It really needs to hold this $100 zone. USO, I love the trend playing out there. All right, SPY, still ripping. 679.27 coming up. Watch for 680. Oh my gosh. That would be hilarious if SPY head and shoulders here. Yeah, we got the head. 680 coming up. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. This could end up being a pretty weird setup. It might not play out this way, though, so keep that in mind. It just is something that I'm looking at here as I look at the way it's moving. Interesting, anyways. See what happens here as it approaches 680. We're about, what, 80 cents away at the moment? That'll be a fun test here soon. See if Nvidia can keep it pumping, because Nvidia is pumping it up here. 1.06%. Looking solid. We go to the daily chart of Nvidia. You know, it's been stuck down in the dump, so it is good to see it coming back with this type of strength here today. Now, the big thing with Nvidia, it's in a major chop zone on the daily. It's really been stuck here all throughout 2026. Are we going to start to really recover up, or is this going to be a slight recovery before a larger sell-off ensues? It's one of those points right in the middle of the range where, you know, it likes to consolidate. 184.75. We go to an hourly. You can see the past few days how big of a range this is that Nvidia is starting to break. It's pushing right through major resistance here. I guess testing it technically, but up through a little bit. Spot was a good call out from yesterday. The premium was a bit high, so you didn't jump in, but good call. Yeah, Spotify. Downside action again. Pretty weak yesterday. They had a great drop off today through 540. Thank you, Jose. DraftKings is one of the ones I'm really watching with that big money trade. Vintage. How are we doing? Welcome in, welcome in. Nice to see you today. Got the market really recovering up here into resistance. Watch out at 680. Now I'm really going to keep watching it because we're very close. At least we'll look at the Mag 7. Oh my gosh. It's like right there for the taking. All right, SPY, let's see how this strength ends up playing out. You can really get through or not. Looks like it's pretty big. $680 testing as we speak. It technically broke through a little bit, but let's see what happens. It's starting to react a little bit. So far, it still looks pretty solid. This candle's a little slow. Oh, bid right back. Okay. The Iranian country is ruled by Star Wars naming the supreme leader. It is kind of awkward, isn't it? HIMS is giving back a little bit. HIMS. Oh, quite a bit, actually. It was ripping it open. It was a pretty fun open there for HIMS, but wow, a big pullback. Novo has been pulling back hard, too. Oh, man, SPY is so choppy up here. Our cat, Zoidberg said. Our cat's still looking great here. Love that movement with our cat. Wow. Wow, our cat, that is a huge move. Love it, our cat. Great break out of that wedge, too. It's a beautiful hold of that trend. Perfect. X marks the spot, as they say. Bank of America, 4160 resistance overhead. Very slow today, but it is trying to recover, up 1.2%. A lot better than where it was earlier. Same with JP Morgan. They kind of looked like they were going to be selling back down, but they ended up holding up fairly well. All right, SPY. You pushing through yet? Uh-oh, still having trouble at 680. Really chopping around. Really chopping it around here. Circle is ridiculous, Elite said. I know they have some wild price action sometimes. They're all over the place. They're up 5% today, straight to the upside again. All right, Elite. You're right. It is ridiculous. It's highly ridiculous. My word, Circle. My gosh. Look at the monthly on it. Makes it look funny. 15% this month. Thoughts on DXST? Decent holdings. DXST. Wow, pretty wild one. This is a stock that I personally would not touch. Number one, it's sold off really hard. Number two, it's 45 cents. I'm sorry, gamer. I don't touch stocks like this usually. They're a little bit too wild and very, very unpredictable, hard to trade. Seems like right now it's trying to trend up, though, which is a good sign. Let's see. They said that they bought it 25 cents, and then you got cold feet at the close of 15 cents. So you bought it, and then you sold it for a loss. Now you're looking at it again, right? Huh. It's a weird move by DXST. Yeah, looking at it overall, a little bit too wild for me. I like the momentum though in the short term. It seems like it's staircasing itself up nicely, which is good. If I were you, I would try to identify a pullback, kind of like what I'm pointing to, and maybe look for an entry there if you really wanted to identify some type of trend. But wow, I mean, other than momentum, it's moving. QQQ looking pretty solid intraday, up to 611, doing quite well with the SPY here still. SPY up through 680 after using it as resistance, so now it's technically right through. Nichols says, I love trading Koru. They said, love trading it. Let's see. South Korea Bull, 3x ETF. I know South Korea and, like, what is it, MSCI? A lot of, like, the stuff that follows the world has been doing very good. Whether it's Europe or whether it's Korea or anything like that. I've seen other Korea ETFs. Obviously, this one's 3x leverage, so it's a pretty wild one. You just got into 2x ETFs? Uh-oh, gamer. Be careful. I love the short-term action on them. Just don't hold them too long. Let's see Intel today in the chip sector. Oh, wow. 4720. I saw in the Discord Sharpie mentioned it. Looks pretty solid. 3.3% here. Really good movement today by Intel. AMD is still trying to pounce forward. I bought SVIX yesterday before open. As the VIX drops, SVIX goes up hard, and it has. Nice one, Jake. Yeah, that's a fun one to trade. SVIX can sometimes be nice. SVIX 1880. SPY looking great up to 681. I'm not seeing any news hit right now. Looking at some headlines, though. Iran's intelligence minister says it arrested 30 spies, international mercenaries, operational agents of Israel and the U.S. over the past few days. I wonder how many of them are not really spies. The Pentagon said the U.S. will not end the Iran war till the enemy's defeated. Wow, SPY. I love that price action, though. Through 680, 680, 150. Highs of this morning coming up. What a strange time to be a trader, right? But it's fun because it's creating a lot of great movement, good opportunity. Uh-oh. Sorry for that cutout. It looks like my internet cut in and out really quickly there for a minute. Man, SPY continuing. What do you guys think? Do you think it's going to break through 680, 150 today? I think that there's a possibility given how much good PA we're seeing to the upside here. Especially getting through 680 so easily. And it all comes as Hegseth says that this is their most intense day of strikes. It all makes sense. Elite says, I'll never trade SNDK again. That is a tough stock to trade. It trended really well today, but it is tough. I've seen a lot of people say that same exact statement as you. So I'm not blaming you. NMAX coming back. Newsmax. There we go. Up 1.1%. Still has a lot of room, but it's starting to get there. But all right, guys, we're going to go ahead and call the stream there today. I appreciate everybody for joining up. Nvidia's starting to pump. The market's doing pretty good on the recovery effort. Trump said the war could be ending soon yesterday. It just feels like that the situation has calmed down slightly. The U.S. is starting to take matters into their hands, and they're looking at different points, kind of like maybe taking over the Strait of Hormuz, among other options with oil. G7 countries considering opening up oil reserves. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. I hope you guys Have a great rest of the day. If you need anything, of course, just let me know in the Discord. I will get it done, or shoot me an email, tom@stockedup.university. Play it all out. Hell yeah, Nichols. You too, Jake. See you guys.